The other big story here at 10 is from our I-team. This all started with a 12-year-old girl reporting a sex crime. Her family called police. Instead of getting help, they say they were ignored and brushed off.
Yeah, now tonight, the family's mission for justice has revealed some troubling problems within a local police department. Andrea Lucia is here to explain, and based on what you've seen, these issues go all the way to the top?
And the Midlothian police chief himself is named in this report, which was commissioned by the city council. It says he showed poor judgment and violated his own policies with extensive failures around the girls' case. But beyond that, the report says several other cases have now come into question. It happened last May, near the end of the school year in Midlothian. A middle school girl called her parents in a panic. She said a boy was masturbating as the class watched a movie. Her father called the school and police. He says while the case progressed at first, the investigators soon stopped responding to their calls and texts. Weeks went by, then months. The family complained to the police chief, then the city manager, and members of city council. The case went nowhere. But it did lead the city council to quietly hire a consulting firm to assess the police department's Criminal Investigation Division, or CID. The report was supposed to remain a secret, but the I-team obtained a copy of the findings. In it, consultants noted significant deficiencies around case management, saying, quote, there is no review as to how long cases have been open or assigned to an investigator or what actions have been taken on those cases. The investigator assigned to the girl's case, Jason O'Brien, retired sometime last year. According to the report, the department looked at his open cases and found some where he just stopped working. In others, suspects were identified, but warrants not written. In one, a warrant was drafted, but never signed. And in 8 cases, there was no evidence O'Brien had done any work at all.
Clearly, there needs to be something done with regards to CID right away.
Dr. Alex Del Carmen is a criminologist who trains law enforcement agencies in best practices. His takeaway from the report is a lack of basic policies and procedures.
It is imperative that all police departments have a case management policy. Policies matter, and the enforcement of those policies matter even more. You want to make sure you are fair to your detectives, and yet you're fair to the people that are being affected by what the detective is doing or is not doing.
The troubles go up through the chain of command. According to the report, the department appointed Sergeant Kyle Boyd as CID commander, even though he had limited experience leading an investigative team. He was also in charge of the Property and Evidence Department, as well as a member of the SWAT team, the Bicycle Unit, and the Warrant Team. The report says his colleague, Commander Byron Stewart, took on some of Boyd's responsibilities, checking in weekly with investigator O'Brien, but neither man verified O'Brien's casework. How does this affect people?
Everything that law enforcement does affects people, period. Every case number is a victim or victims. It's a story. It's, in some cases, a tragic story.
The report also highlights a complaint of retaliation involving Chief Carl Smith and the father of the girl. He, too, is in law enforcement. Chief Smith texted the father's boss, a police chief in another city, about potentially filing an official complaint against the girl's dad. The other chief responded that the father, quote, did not want his boss acting as an intermediary in a private matter, which I get, end quote. The report found that Chief Smith, quote, demonstrated poor judgment and failed to view the father as a community member rather than a law enforcement official. The report concludes with 10 recommendations, including the development of a case management policy, scheduled check-ins by supervisors, and a complete policy audit across the entire department. How does this reflect on the chief and the leadership of the department?
You know, I think, and I've always said this about law enforcement, right? The chief in any police department sets the tone of that department, right? And ultimately they are responsible for what goes, well and what doesn't go well.
No one with the city or the police department would answer our questions or agree to an interview. The mayor sent us a statement that says, in part, the assessment resulted in an action plan that the city manager, Chris Dick, is in the process of implementing along with Police Chief Carl Smith. This includes developing operating policies and procedures and ensuring they are being followed. The assessment provides an opportunity for us to improve operations while at the same time improve the service we provide to the community. Those changes need to be swift, says Del Carmen, so the public can continue to have faith in its police.
I would say stop the bleeding right now, and then secondly, start planning for what this is going to look like and to make sure this doesn't happen again.
The city paid $25,000 for the assessment, but like we said, it didn't plan to release the findings. We spoke to 3 law enforcement experts. All of them agreed the information is important for the public to know, and we have posted our copy online at cbsnewstexas.com, and Doug, the family's names and other sensitive information has been removed.
So you watch something like this, I mean, maybe you're sitting at home, obviously, the automatic question is there any kind of fallout? Has anybody been disciplined based on everything you just shared?
Yes, so Investigator O'Brien, he received a 1-day unpaid suspension for his handling of the girls' case. He is now an investigator with the Ellis County DA's office, and when we contacted him there, he told us he didn't know about the assessment. He later sent us an email saying, in part, quote, "I have nothing negative to say about my time as an employee for the city of Midlothian. When I left, I was given an honorable discharge, which was reported to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement."
Andrea Lucia and the I-Team taking us inside tonight. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. And if you have something you'd like the I-Team to look into, this is why we're here. If you've got a question, you can reach out to them real simple by phone or email. The number's on your screen, 817-586-7211. And the email address is iteam@ktvt.com.